these heroes that aren't high range. So it could work with the Balmond being picked up as well. They are going to be able to have a advantage in terms of that neutral objective pickup. But ONIC Esports now, with the last pick here, it should be for the gold lane.
I mean, at this point, it's what the heck?
No way! Mia!
I was thinking Beatrix, ONIC Esports. They want to go for a pocket pick.
Hang on.
Mia?
Is that because if he goes invisible,
exactly.
so Blazing Duet does not do damage?
That is one of the keys, but also it's a built-in Purify, right? If you get caught in the Fatal Links, you can actually just use your ultimate to get out of it. But still, that laning phase, you're up against the Claude actually, so the scaling won't be that bad. You're not going to be bullied in the lane. But ONIC are going to have to really help this Mia scale up to be that monster in the late game. If RRQ are able to use this Farsight to just zone and just to rotate towards that gold lane, it's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be tough. But ONIC, I think with the drafts that they've set for themselves, will be able to actually enable this Mia.
Safety from the Matilda, and if you think about it, being the only physical damage dealer, the main physical damage dealer, the AoE damage from the Mia can be very valuable. So on paper, it makes sense. But of course, in the Land of Dawn, it's a completely different story. So let's just see what's going to happen.
Let's jump into the Land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Mia. First Mia pick in Season 10. And again, it has to be on CW. The most dynamic gold laner. In terms of that hero pool, you know me. When I see something crazy, I just got to root for it. So for this game, I'm going to have to say ONIC here. I would love to see how CW plays this. He's actually opted for the killing spree as well. So it's a very aggressive Mia. That's very interesting.
And it makes sense, especially paired up with items that can give you physical lifesteal. She is going to be able to create crazy plays, be aggressive, and stay alive, basically, in terms of that team fight, right? So we're going to see exactly how this pans out. ONIC Esports have a really aggressive mid lane. It's starting to show with the way that it's been playing. And fun fact here, by grab, Mia from CW was able to get a Savage in MPL ID Season 9, so last season. It's a power pick for CW.
I wouldn't say power pick, but it's definitely a strong pick on the hands of CW. Vindo, again, looking for that bottom side. Good guiding win. This is why I said it's a good draft to actually enable Mia, because with the Matilda, even if you want to commit onto CW, you can actually get out, and CW actually steals that gold buff away as well.
Great execution for ONIC Esports so far, and they don't really have RRQ doesn't have a solution for this guiding wind, right? They want to go very aggressively, but at any point, ONIC Esports, if they position properly, which they usually do, it's going to be very difficult for RRQ to find those prior targets. But of course, Vin is very adept at doing so, so it's a bit of a showdown in the roaming position as well. And usually, when it comes to defensive against aggressive, the aggressor gets an innate advantage.
I'm still trying to think about like the Mia pick, right? Because we rarely see this Mia pick, and I really do want to see how powerful this pick is. Why did ONIC pick it in the grand finals, right? You gotta ask yourself that, but Albert now is looking for the steal. Zoned out by Boots and Sans, though. It's gonna be Kyrie who picks it up. Albert actually losing his life there from the damage from Boots and Sans. The Appraiser's Rat just deals so much as Kiboy is actually able to zone R7 away as well. First blood, first turtle over to ONIC Esports, and here it is. Time prediction by Axe. Hey, I like the Mia pick, all right? Because it's crazy, and I like to see crazy, especially in the grand finals.
Yeah.
Understandable. Have a nice day. But right now, the damage coming in from Silence, though, that is the main problem for RRQ Hoshi. We talked about the Valentina, but in the top side, though, whoa!
Almost. Boost almost takes R7 down there. He's going to be taken really low and forced to retreat early on, but now you can see Clay already getting very punished by Keyboy's aggression. He might get cocked out, but he does still have the flicker to get away.
Okay, I have a question here, Arashi. Sans went for Flicker instead of Purify. What do you think? No Purifies actually at all for ONIC Esports, right? Mia doesn't really need Purify because again, already has that ultimate, but everyone else, by everyone I do mean Matilda and Lilia, I guess.
It's a bit of a gamble for sure, and later on, the presence of the Flicker on Vin will be so important, which is why that emblem makes sense, right? Lowering your battle spell cooldown by a bit is going to be so valuable when later on, reliably, the only way for you to get a surprise engage is to go with the Flicker Fatal Links. But already, aggression from RRQ, but matched by ONIC though.
A taunt as well. Clay though, saving the wings by wings, gets out. doesn't even need the wing by wing. It's Keyboy who jumps in with a circling eagle, and it's a good response from the rest of RRQ to back up their mid laner. But if we take a look at this, if the game goes slow like this, it gives time over for CW to actually scale up on this Mia. And again, because we haven't seen it at all in MPL, heck, I never even see it in my ranked games. I'm still waiting to see how strong Mia is in the late game in the current patch.
Especially against the right amount of people, the right kind of composition. It's very dangerous for sure. And R7 now, before the Bloodlust Axe is completed, he's going to be absolutely bullied. And RRQ Hoshi, despite having the engage, despite having the lethal counter, neutral objective secure, they're getting zoned away by damage.
And the poke as well. Good disengage by Keyboy. Vin still has that flicker though. He might be looking for a Fatal Links flicker over to one member, but CW pops that ultimate, and that's going to be the turtle thrown away by Kyrie. Taken. No, it's Albert who steals it away, but Kyrie takes a double onto RRQ. That's the thing. ONIC Esports, whenever they split like that and Vin has to just engage on one member, he can't be going on the Mia.
What a turnaround here for ONIC Esports, as now Skylar is trying to deal some damage with the Blazing Duet, but Keyboy is still able to make it out alive. And this is the problem. Skylar is actually ahead in terms of that EXP than Skylar. And we need to see RRQ Hoshi shut this Mia down from this early game, and so far it hasn't been able to be done.
Right here we see a setup though, Vin going in for CW, but of course a very secure hero on that Mia, and Skylar won't be able to actually participate as CW walks away, but watch out for Clay.
Guiding win, there you go, once again by ONIC Esports. And Vin couldn't pop that Fatal Links, right? Because, again, with the ultimate, CW kind of just counters that Atlas engage. Here, guys, you guys can go and check out the Exorcist skin, ladies and gentlemen. Kagura and Yuzong getting such a good skin. Kyrie, though, looking for a gank up top as Boots is going to be able to taunt R7 down. R7 looking for the play, looking to get out of this. Shadow Saw popped in, Appraiser's Wrath as well. CW. Oh! With Keyboy as well. Gets taken out off camera. ONIC Esports needs to be careful. Their 1,000 gold lead in the early game won't really do much, as the Mia will need to get a few items before he actually starts to snowball, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Scale.
It was a 2,000 gold lead actually for ONIC Esports previously, but it has been instantly taken away by RRQ Hoshi. A lot of emphasis from RRQ already in the bottom lane, realizing the damage that CW can have if he continues to scale. But luckily, Sans is still able to go a 1v3 situation with that burst damage from the first and second ability, as both teams should now be rotating towards this next neutral objective, which is that turtle.
And now with RRQ Hoshi being able to bait in ONIC Esports, we saw in the bottom lane the potential for them to use Vision as a trap, and that is something that they are well known for. Conceal has been popped right now, but Vin cannot find a suitable target.
Boots is looking for that peel. It's going to be the reset here as Boots actually jumps onto Clay here. Going to be CC'd back in. Boots looking for the play once again. Is able to flicker. Oh my goodness, Boots! What a play! Flickering out of harm's way and getting that Appraiser's Wrath. 1 for 0 for ONIC Esports as they're looking now for... My God, how did Kyrie get it? The Retribution up against the Bauman. Lethal counter entry for Albert. Still, Kyrie finds it.
Yeah, that shouldn't be possible. ONIC Esports, they're really popping off here. So much is happening right now. Boots goes in the back line, is able to deny the Feather Airstrike coming in from Clay. He's also brought back out with a guiding win. And Kyrie is just doing so much here, Arashi.
Kyrie is doing an insane amount, and RRQ Hoshi, they lack damage. Of course, their members are scaling up right now. The Farsa and the Claude later on will be an absolute menace, but for now, look at that. Everyone is just surviving long enough, and with a guiding win, that does not make it any easier for RRQ Hoshi to get any pickoffs. Now they're being completely zoned away. They lose out in poke damage despite having a Farsa due to the pressure that ONIC Esports are able to do with positioning. And that is something that RRQ Hoshi needs to find a solution for.
2,000 gold lead and counting for ONIC at this point, already climbing to 3,000, and Albert is even struggling to just clear the lanes here.
Man, that Feather Airstrike did so much onto CW. You gotta be very careful. Mia needs to position himself perfectly. In the top side, you can already see R7 doing work, getting a turret back for RRQ. ONIC Esports, though, are doing really well for a composition that, again, needs to play around that Mia to get to that power spike, right? 8 minutes in. He's farmed up quite a bit, Arashi.
In the late game, though, we talked about the difference between a Fredrin and the Paquito. If it gets even, R7 can be a lot more dynamic in the side game, and side lane game, but Kyrie now making the play almost gets Skylar, but that's another tower for CW, as always.
Good opening there by Kyrie. Vin looking for the play. CW still has his ultimate. Will just pop it in. Gets out. Kyrie taking a whole lot of damage, but will jump in with the Shadow Assault to pick up a kill. Circling Eagle onto Albert right now as R7 is looking to help him out. Clay flickers out, but the Shadow Assault comes in from Kyrie. He gets out as well. San's coming in. CW looking for the play. Not going to be able to do it, but again, ONIC Esports playing so well up against RRQ. And the Mia's doing work, man. Baiting out the Fatal Links twice now in this game.
2-0 trade for ONIC Esports once again, and is going to be able to get a lot of HP from that turret and even take it for themselves. So much on the board for ONIC Esports, going to be able to get the Lord as well. And so far, RRQ Hoshi, without a reliable engage because of how lacking the Fatal Links is against someone like the Mia, who's able to get out of it with her ultimate, it's going to be very difficult for them to get into that back line. If they rely only on Skylar, Mia can just build the one, basically, and just deny that pressure. And look at him go. Look at how much damage he's already doing.
He just finished the Berserker's Fury, so every single critical damage he does, any critical strikes are gonna be a lot more painful for RRQ Hoshi. And right now, it's just a difficult situation. They are used to going for decisive engages in the right time for their advantage, but now that's completely denied, so they need to play around a different way. Maybe around the Feathered Airstrike, maybe around some poke damage, because otherwise, the moment they want to go in, they cannot get the right pickoffs, and before you know it, look at Clay earlier, getting jumped on by Kyrie and Boots. That is definitely not how you want a fight to go, as now CW.
It's my turn now, says CW. He's been playing passive the entire game. He's been waiting for this moment right here. That power spike to hit. Mid lane turret gonna go down. Tier 2s. Bottom side target as well. CW melting R7 down with the help of Kyrie. That's the damage of the Mia in the late game. Still has the ultimate, still has the Inspire. Imagine what he can do with both of that active. 6.5k gold lead right now for the Mia. And oh man, this is such an interesting pick, right?
Look at the XP difference as well right here for the majority of the players. Clay is 2 levels below Sans, and that is a big problem because, as we mentioned, the Feathered Airstrike is one of the tools that RRQ Hoshi can try and use to curb this CW's Mia's aggression. But now, with him being so behind, not having the levels or the gold to supplement that damage, ONIC Esports are going to get even more and more opportunities to try and flatten out RRQ Hoshi. And for now, if they want to rely on an engage, it's really going to be very, very difficult.
The longer the game goes, the more you actually think about the brilliance of the draft from ONIC Esports. It's basically a full disengage comp, almost, right? Aside from the Fredrin, obviously. But with the Mathilda, with the Mia, the Karina technically can disengage as well. Tank, just a tank, a solid frontliner. But the Lilia, right? So there's just so much disengage, and it stops RRQ from going for those crazy team fights with their comp. Atlas, Claude, Farsa. That's what they're looking for. ONIC Esports is so smart. Again, the Architect boots down, knocking Vin up. Doesn't get the taunt here. Circling Eagle onto Vin. This might be an overcommit by ONIC Esports, but they're just looking to actually poke RRQ down. Albert gets baited in. That Feather Airstrike as well. That's a good resource burn out here for 2. So technically in the resource department, it's still RRQ who gets a better trade, but hey, ONIC traded it for map pressure. They got it.
In a way, right, for ONIC Esports, yeah, they can avoid fights, but they can't really engage fights either. Only Boots can be the main engage tool, and Keyboy with the Circling Eagle is not exactly a definitive engage tool either. So RRQ Hoshi, if they can play for poke damage, if Clay can scale and get enough damage, maybe that will be one of the main factors. And then afterwards, if ONIC Esports wants to punish Clay instead for being able to do so much from so far away, then Vin can make a big play happen, but now he's getting denied completely.
Feather Airstrike over to Sans, still has that black shoes. Vin is gonna get poked down, gonna be bursted down before he can even pop the Fatal Links. That's the kill over to CW. And look at the Lord, it's gonna be stolen away by Albert as he goes it out to Boots, but Boots is absolutely a monster in this game. Picking up a killing spree now onto Albert. CW melting R7 down as he picks up that kill. It's a disaster as RRQ get completely wiped out in Game 3. ONIC Esports with the Mia, they've done it. They've wiped RRQ out. Presented to you by Head and Shoulders. They're knocking on RRQ's base. Vin now respawning, looking for a miracle play to defend, but it's gonna be ONIC Esports who takes the lead in the series with a Mia.
2-1 now for ONIC Esports with a very dominant game. Everything that RRQ Hoshi wanted to bring to the table was mitigated because of the drafts coming in from ONIC Esports. The surprising pick, the out-of-the-box pick, the Mia of all picks.